Good blessed Monday night, February the 13th, 2023. It's about 9:17 p.m. I greet all human beings all around the world with the universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you. It doesn't matter what your political, philosophical, personal, nor your religious beliefs may be. It doesn't matter whether you're the richest to the poorest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't even matter whether you the proclaim toughest to the proclaim weakest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't matter if you're my family, friends, nor my proclaim enemies. It doesn't matter whether you like anything I say, nor anything that I do or produce on social internet. That's your prerogative. You have a first, 14th, 5th, and so on, amendment rights to the United States Constitution. To think and say as you please, as long as it be in an orderly, nonviolent, and peaceful manner. Tonight, what I want to talk about is the Carbondale, Illinois Scorpion Unit. When I say Scorpion Unit, I'm speaking about corrupted units. I'm talking about all the way from plain setting people up to murder. And the Carbondale, Illinois Police Department, the NAACP in Carbondale, Illinois, the city council, if the shoe fit, wear it in Carbondale, Illinois. You're not a part of any of this that I'm saying, don't let it bother you. But I want to show you something. The leaders in Carbondale, Illinois, the newspapers in Southern Illinois, I want to show you something, how they cover certain things. And I want to show you something with concerning the death of my son, Brian Lamont Johns, who was found dead in Carbondale, Illinois on Friday, March the 19th, 2021. I want to show you something, how they'll dismiss his death as being non-homicide. I'm going to show you how they did the same thing with a individual student, a 19-year-old from Chicago, Illinois suburb, Morton Grove, by the name of Praveen. I want you to see how they did his case in 2014 when they had the one chief of police and then the assistant chief of police, Stan Reno, how he did back then in 2014, what he had to say about this death, which he said there was no foul play with Praveen's death. Then now that he see that Praveen's family, 9 years later, they have the money and the resources to prove that what Stan Reno said wasn't true. They did the same thing with my son, but you see, we don't have the money that the Praveen family have. We didn't have the money to get another pathologist to say that there was defensive wounds. But I'm going to show you something to just show you how the Scorpion Unit, I done showed you how the Scorpion Unit work here in Charleston, Missouri, Mississippi County. I want to show you how they work in Carbondale, Illinois, with the connection of the NAACP, the city council. Like I said, if the shoe fit, wear it. But you just watch very carefully what Stan Reno says when he was the assistant chief of police back in 2014 about this Praveen case, no foul play. Then what he's saying today, because the Praveen family got news channels and everything else to look into their son's death, but they silencing mine. But I ain't gonna be silenced. God got me. You see, Praveen mother is saying that the Carbondale police and the prosecuting attorney is good people, but I'm going to show you something real different. See, Praveen mother took a settlement from the guy's family who they got 4 years later, a white guy for murdering their son, and then a year later they got him, they let him free, let the killer free, but yet the same people that she's saying there was good people, the chief of police is now the chief who was the assistant chief who said that her son's case was a foul play. See, she's speaking from Morton Grove, Illinois. She ain't speaking from Charleston, Missouri, or from Carbondale, Illinois, because the people don't see the same thing that she feel. You see what I'm saying? She got money and she got attention. But the other people that's scared of what's happening in Carbondale and not getting justice from the police department, they don't feel what she feels. I want to show y'all what Stan Reno, who was the deputy chief or second in command back in 2014 when this student, Praveen, how you pronounce his last name? Varghese, was found in the woods. And let's see what Reno said back in 2014 versus what he's saying in 2022 and 2023. All right. This is the title of this one here. You can Google it up yourself. Morton Grove, Illinois, SIU student, Praveen Varghese, found in the woods, dead in 2000 and I believe 14. But here it is. Carbondale. First, we got it. The title: foul play not suspected in SIU student's death. And I wonder why they saying that. We gonna find out. Who said that? Carbondale police say they do not suspect foul play in the death of a Southern Illinois University student whose body was found in a wooded area near the school. That was in Carbondale. The body of 19-year-old Praveen Varghese was found Tuesday nearly a week after he went missing following a dispute with an acquaintance after accepting a ride. Carbondale Police Chief Jody O'Gwen said he was the chief then, said the difficult terrain in low temperatures are believed to have contributed to I can't pronounce his name. Varghese difficulty finding his way out of the woods. That's what they said then. Deputy Chief now, Stan Reno, said there were no obvious signs of trauma on Varghese's body. An autopsy will be performed to determine the exact cause of death of the criminal justice major from Morton Grove. He was a criminal justice major. I believe that's it on that. But listen to what Stan Reno said again now. Deputy Chief Stan Reno said there were no obvious signs of trauma on Varghese's body, and an autopsy will be performed to determine the exact cause of death. Now, he said this is the chief of police, Stan Reno, back in 2014, y'all. Then they had an autopsy, and guess what their coroner said, or their pathologist said that there was no defense wound. But the difference, like I told y'all earlier, Praveen's family, his mother Lovely, them, they had money. Unlike me and my two daughters, we the only one that's going down to Carbondale, Illinois, complaining. Some can't make it, but some that could, should, but we ain't gonna even worry about that because we have God. But Stan Reno, I'm gonna show you how he contradicts himself now. What made you come to the conclusion back in 2014 that there was no foul play? Then when they took an autopsy, the same thing, but Praveen family was consistent, and 4 years later, a white individual was charged and convicted of this guy's murder. 12 people convicted this white guy, but a judge overturned the jury's decision. The jury was the tear factor. The judge wasn't the tear factor. The jury found this guy guilty. 12 people found him guilty of robbery, a strong arm robbery, I believe it was, and murder. But the judge threw it out on the technicality. But we're going to see where it stands now. I'm going to get back with you. But remember what Stan Reno said. This is the same thing they said with my son, Brian Lamont Johns. You see, from the beginning, they said it wasn't no foul play. To the end, they said it was no foul play. But I want you to, then there was no defense wound. But see, my son, Brian Lamont, had 3 fractured ribs that they couldn't tell where it came from. He also had a gash on the back of his hand. On the left hand, go all the way down to the tendons. Blood, only thing you seen was a couple of drugs. They couldn't tell where that came from. He had bruises on the side of his leg and his thigh from being dragged. You could say from being dragged, but guess what? They couldn't tell where that come from. But let's see what Reno says in 2022. You can see this here. It say, family remembers Praveen. I can't keep on pronouncing his name. Verghese, 8 years after his death. That was last year, but see, they had another one to this year in February 2023, but it was secretly with the Praveen family and the chief of police. And the other people the news won't show the other people's side of the story as what they think about the chief of police in their investigation. But the Praveen, they just going on what the Praveen family saying. But let's look and see this here. You seen the date. That's Praveen there. This is where they found him at in the woods. But let's see what the Carbondale police and things say now. First, we're gonna go here. We're gonna go. Y'all seen it was February 11, 2022, but it was they had another one this year, but they didn't notify the public until the news put it on the news. But let's look at this last year, 8 years later. Carbondale, WSIL won't air my son's side of the story because my son is dead, and they won't hear my side of the story. They hearing the Praveen side of the story. His family can speak up for him, but can't nobody speak up for Brian Lamont John but the police department. You see what I'm saying? The pathologist, the coroner, and the prosecuting attorney. So that's only one-sided, like it was one-sided. But in 2014, until the Praveen family used their money and their power and got their side of the story heard and got a white individual arrested, prosecuted, convicted, but then he was let out. That's the history of Carbondale, Illinois. Okay. Praveen Verghese was studying criminal justice at SIU before he was found dead in 2014. 8 years later, his family and friends still come to the spot he was found every year on the anniversary. It's bitter because every time I take this ride, I know Praveen is not with us. He's gone. I come to that realization over and over again. It's sweet feeling. It's a sweet feeling because every time we come back here and we go to the spot where he was found, it brings me a little bit of peace, said Praveen's mother, lovely Verghese. Okay, they also give a scholarship to students studying criminal justice in Praveen's memory. All right. We feel like he planted seed and it is growing, and his legacy is his memory. In his memory will live on, lovely, said Praveen's mother. Each year at the ceremony, lovely Verghese thanks, listen to this here. This hurt my heart, but to each his own. Thanks law enforcement, especially Jackson County State's Attorney Joseph Cervantes in the Carbondale Police Department. The fact that he came to Carbondale to get an education and was the unfortunate tragedy victim of an incident. That wasn't an incident, it was a murder. In our police department, our police department has been committed since the day we learned about what happened, that we wanted to help the family and bring justice to them, said Carbondale Police Chief Stan Reno. Now, that's a whole different damn thing than what he said before in 2014. he said it was no foul play. Now, that's Stan Reno saying today now. And you see what Lovely saying. Lovely saying, thanks to the police chief Stan Reno in the prosecuting attorney. You want to talk to some more blacks and whites in Carbondale, Illinois, and see do they agree with Lovely, who live in Morton Grove, Illinois, and Chicago, Illinois, who come down once a year. Unlike me and my family coming down trying to get justice for my son, we come down several times a year, and other people that live in Carbondale, Illinois, suffering from these people shooting and killing their family members. See if they feel the same way. Okay. Reno said through the tragedy, now listen to this here, he believes the event helped it bring the community and police closer together. The event from what Lovely said. That's Lovely. That ain't Raymond Lewis Ivy family. That ain't Brian Lamont John's family saying this here. That's Lovely saying, and to each his own, and no disrespect to her. Okay, if I got a settlement from the people who I thought killed my son, you see what I'm saying? I'll probably be saying the police is cool too. Okay, let's get this here. We want everyone to have a voice. This is Stan Reno talking. We want everyone to have a voice, and we want them to speak up when they perceive something is wrong. Me and my family been telling them since 2021 that something is wrong. But you think that they did anything? They closed my son's case. They covered it up, just like the NAACP helped them cover it up, just like those two black women that's on the city council helped them cover up, and a whole bunch of other people. So it's really brought us closer. That's what Stan Reno said. It's done brought the community closer. That's what Lovely said. She live in Morton Grove. Ask some of the people in Carbondale, Illinois. As a police department with our community, it's certainly brought us closer with the what's her name? Verghese family. I know it brought y'all closer to them because they own every just about major news channel. They own documentaries. They done got paid from the family of the guy that killed their loved one, but they ain't got justice yet. Family and helps us understand what families go through on the other side of the tragedy situations like this, said Reno. Now, he understand what families go through. The Praveen family going through. He don't understand what Brian Lamont John's family is going through, because if he would, you see what I'm saying? He would look at all the inconsistency. He would look at the sloppy job that his police department did. Let me finish reading this here. As more students continue to study what Praveen was so passionate about, Lovely hopes she can continue to honor her son's name. And I always wonder, how much impact Praveen has had in many lives, even though they never met him. So in a way, I feel honored to be his mom, said Lovely, Praveen's mother. In 2018, Gage, whatever his name is, the white guy, was convicted of first-degree murder for Verghese's death. That conviction was overturned a year later. It is now in the appellate courts. Now, that's in the appellate courts, but you remember what Reno said? Reno got, he getting news coverage, television coverage, police press release with Praveen mother, somebody that's giving them credit, who any family that went through what the Praveen family went through and I went through, and they seen what this same man said in 2014 versus what he's saying now, they know it's not the truth. But like I said, they got a settlement from this guy, Gage's family. Gage's mother even said, she sympathized with the Praveen family losing their son. But if you thought my son killed your son, why did you take a settlement from us? Think about that, y'all. Think about what Reno did. Ask them why, if they want to somebody perceives something wrong, why ain't they looking into my son's case? You know why? Because they had my son on their payroll. My son was homeless. And they don't care because we don't have no money. But one thing we have something more than Praveen mother have and family have and friends have. We have more than what Reno and the police chief have. We have more than what the prosecuting attorney Joseph for Sanchez have, and them sellout city council members. You know who you are, black. You see what I'm saying? Sellout Carbondale, Illinois, NAACP. Matter of fact, sell out majority, y'all, 99.99% of the 2+ million NAACP members. My son matter just like the Praveen family son matter, Stan Reno. You send me a letter telling me that y'all was opening the case back up and y'all went to a dead end because y'all went to interview some mentally ill individual. You ain't gonna tell the Praveen family that. You ain't gonna just send them no letter. You get on national TV with them. Y'all had a secret meeting with the Praveen family this year in February of 2023. You see what I'm saying? It was just you, the news media, and the Praveen family. You know why? Because ain't nobody else gonna accept what you and the Praveen family say. And I don't care who don't like what I'm saying. My son is dead, and I know somebody murdered him, and I know the police department is covering it up, and I know for a fact that the Carbondale, Illinois, NAACP, Linda Flowers, Nancy Maxwell, Logwood, Sidney Logwood, Dr. Weaver, the sitting mayor, Carolyn Harvey, and a whole bunch of you all blacks and whites is covering it up. But God gonna reveal it. Put that on the news, Reno. Me and my family been coming down there since 2021. But you ain't never got no news release on my son. But I happen to go in the police department and you got one of my flyers up. Justice for Brian Lamont Johns. If you think he is not a homicide and y'all done close the case, what you let it stay up there for? Peace be still.